Right guys, criminal here. I know I've said no more politics and I meant it, but I just felt like I owe you to make this video because I've said I will make a video just explaining what's happening currently in Israel, what's the Israeli-Hamas war. So, in case any of you haven't been here yet in this channel, I'm an Israeli man, a man from Israel. I'm Jewish, not Arab, not anything. Just, I'm a Jewish man from Israel. And yeah, last time I made a video like this, I just completely broke down into tears because I dwelled too deeply on what they've done, like what the Hamas did, actions they've committed, so I didn't really explain it well. I didn't explain what I wanted to explain, actually, so I just thought I'd make this video. I'm warning you from the beginning, like, what I'll talk about will be graphic, for sure, because what they've done are actions no human want to imagine, so if you can't deal with it, like, if you can't deal with Holocaust level, if not even worse level type of horrifying actions, I would suggest you click off the video right now, because some of the things I will describe to you here could haunt your night. I'm not sugarcoating it. It is terrifying. So allow me to just begin from the get-go. Of course, Israel and Palestine, we could say, the Palestinians and Israel, we've always been in a conflict, a large conflict. The Hamas is the leading body of Gaza. It's pretty much like their government, but it's more of a dictatorship. Let's be real. It's not Hamas just rules there. It's pretty straightforward, and their main goal is just to destroy Israel and conquer Israel and turn it back to Palestine as they see it. Ever since pretty much the creation of Israel, Palestinians were trying, some organizations were trying to just dismantle Israel, but the current modern, most urgent enemy of us right now, at the very least the ones that's currently attacking us, and hopefully the only one that will be attacking us, is the Hamas. Hamas always use the money they get from Israel and from other very kind donations for the Palestinian people from rich Muslim countries, or even from Muslim people who really just want to donate for innocent Palestinians, like for the children, for the women, things that are actually commendable. Truly commendable, even from an Israeli. And Palestinians are basically my enemy right now, but I don't see it that way. My enemy is not the Palestinians, my enemy is the Hamas. That's just how it is. The Hamas doesn't represent the Palestinians. Even I believe Abu Mazen said today in an interview, like, the Hamas doesn't represent them and doesn't represent the Palestinian people because what they've committed is horrifying. So yeah, the Hamas is our enemy. That's just exposition out of the way. Now as to what happened. What day is it today? Sunday. I'm pretty sure 9 days ago. Yeah, 9 days ago. 9 days ago, on the Saturday before the last one. That was 2 days ago. I'm recording this in Monday, the 16th of October. So, in the 7th of October, in a Saturday, Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel early in the morning. 6 a.m. Hamas managed to somehow, I don't know how, and I can't understand how, it's a massive flaw of our defense systems, but they actually managed to infiltrate our borders from the air. They attempted from the seas, but were thankfully destroyed by our navy, and they attempted to enter through the ground, which they succeeded. So Hamas, hundreds of terrorists infiltrated the land of Israel and just slaughtered everybody they saw. Like, allow me to just mute the music from Mortal Kombat. It's a Mortal Kombat channel after all, so I'm just in this channel, so I'll just mute this really quickly. There we go. Much better. Now, just getting back to where I was, Hamas caught us off guard. I can't sugarcoat it. Even our leaders, or at least some of them who had the balls to actually admit they were wrong, said we were caught with our pants down. This was a mistake that won't happen again. But yeah, it's pretty much the worst failure, military and governmental failure in the history of this country. So yeah, horrifying failure, and the results are horrifying. Hamas infiltrated and started just killing everybody that are close to Gaza, pretty much. Everybody they could actually get close to. The moment they actually infiltrated the border, all of the nearby villages, for example, just a village named Be'eri, another village named Kfar Aza, and a few more and even bigger cities, they just infiltrated there, and They just started going from house to house, and just every person they saw on the street, they started just shooting them. Everybody. They even infiltrated the rave party. They just came across a rave party with like 3,000 young men and women, and they just went all Rambo on there and just killed so many young men and women. A neighbor of mine actually lost her daughter. Her daughter went to the rave party and she never returned. She was killed by a grenade. So yeah, they just went in there like armed from head to toe. Insane armor. I'm talking like they had RPGs, AK-47s, grenades, flashbangs, everything you would expect. It was as if they were fighting another military. Well, they were actually not. They were just there to kill as many civilians as possible in the shortest time possible. And I'm sorry, very, very sorry to say they actually succeeded. Like, just if we're talking casualties, I'll talk about what they did later. But if we're talking casualties, they so far, nobody knows the accurate numbers. There are no accurate numbers. There are more bodies to be discovered and more injured to be treated. But and of course, more injured that will die eventually. That's just how it is. But as if we're talking the number of dead, currently it's sitting at the very bare minimum 1,200 people, men, women, and children, including soldiers, but the vast majority being civilians and innocents, including Arabs, Bedouin people, by the way. Arab people were killed, Muslims were killed, babies were killed, women, children, everybody. They didn't show any distinction between them. They just shot everybody they saw. They saw a woman with the head covering. Like, I'm sorry if I don't remember the name. Hijab. They saw a woman with a hijab, a Muslim woman with a hijab. They just shot her in the stomach. They killed her in the spot. They didn't care. They just see every person in the land of Israel an enemy. Muslim, Arab, it doesn't matter. Everybody is an enemy. Everybody deserves death. And that's just what the mindset they have. And they just kill many people. At least, again, 1,200 people are dead. Muslims, Arabs, everybody. And at the very least 3,000 injured, with many of them being hard to critical injury. So unfortunately, many of them will also die soon. Not all of them will make it. It's just how the way it goes. But of course, treatments are happening as I speak right now, because we're trying to save as many lives as we can, man. It's horrifying what they've done. So yeah, this is the most tough part of the video. I'm going to describe to you what they've done, like the actions that they've committed when they enter the villages. If you have if you have trouble hearing this, I will try and put a timestamp, just a timestamp to where I start talking about it, so you don't have to hear it, because these are truly graphic things I'm going to discuss. So yeah, I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to break down into tears again. These are things you can't talk about and stay just cold to it. Even John Kirby, a high level official in the U.S. government, even he couldn't hold back his tears, because these are actions you don't want to hear. It's worse than ISIS and it's worse than the Nazis. So yeah, truly horrifying action. So let me just tell you what they've done. I'm just gonna do it in a list type order, not dwelling into it because I don't want to break down again. I'm trying to explain this as calmly and as rationally as possible as I can, and with the most neutral mindset, even though I'm an Israeli man. So to what they've committed, when they infiltrated the villages, they've killed without distinction. I'm saying again, they just shot everybody they saw. Young children were shot in their heads, women were shot in their heads, children, babies, elderly, all were killed in front of their families. The army, after the atrocities they've committed a few days later, actually found a pit in all the villages, a pit the Hammas buried, the Hammas dug, and they just threw the bodies of 40 children and babies in there. And some of them were decapitated. They've decapitated mothers, fathers, and children and babies in front of their own people, in front of their own families. They raped women. They raped many women. Unfortunately, what else can I say about this? They just shot everybody again. They burned people while they were alive. One thing they did at the rave party, they actually just put four jeeps, the big vehicle. They dug a pit in the middle. They put innocents there, like civilians. They put them in the middle of the pit. They poured gasoline into it. They just burned them and surrounded them with the jeep so they can't escape. So you just burned people alive. One story was just horrifying beyond belief. A pregnant woman was killed by them cutting the fetus out of her womb and then shooting it at the head. So horrifying actions. It brings me shivers even when I'm talking about it right now. So I'm just gonna move on because I'm trying not to break down into tears. These are my people. Just you hear of these actions and you're completely losing your sanity. You can't even imagine a human will do this. These are actions. I've seen actually images as well. We've seen images. Reporters from foreign countries also have seen the pictures of the children without their head on and started breaking down into tears. They couldn't fathom it. They couldn't. Even the members of Zaka, which is like the body clearance department, the great men and women who actually grab the bodies after everything is over and deal with them and just prepare them for burials, or just clean the battleground, you could say, after the fight is over. Even they were traumatized. Even they never saw images this bad. This was worse than what the Nazis did in 1939 to 1945. This was worse than what ISIS did. This is worse than anything I've ever seen. I don't remember such actions of cruelty ever since like Middle Ages. This is cruelty levels that are just unmatched, man. I can't even. It's hard to imagine a human being could actually do those things. So, yeah, because I don't want to break down into tears, I'm just gonna move on and not dwell on these actions. I'm trying to keep images out of my head as we're talking because it's really tough for me. It's tough for me. I'm trying my best to stay calm in this one. This is the reason why I'm making this video, because when I tried to explain last time, I broke down into tears again. I have another video where I just break down into tears for like 20 minutes. So, yeah, moving on from what they've done. The results are again catastrophic. One of the worst number of casualties we've had. And of course, more bodies are being discovered as I'm speaking. Horrifying bodies. Many bodies were also mutilated, like they just disgraced bodies, like just they corrupted them. I don't know the word exactly in English, but they just corrupted the bodies, like cutting them, burning them, stuff like that. Pretty much the equivalent of us burning the terrorists who killed our country. If we were to do it, like pretty much the equivalent of just killing a Muslim man, imagine, and just burning him in a campfire made with pork fat. Pretty much the exact same thing. Actions on this level of cruelty, which is something I believe my country should be doing, like burn the bodies in pork fat, because terrorists believe that when they die, they get 72 virgins in heaven. But if they ever touch pork, they don't get heaven. So yeah, they deserve it. Fuck them. Burn them in pork fat. So regardless, moving on from that, the actions, I've discussed them already. Oh God. As to what's happening now, Israel has moved on from defense to offense. We are attacking in Gaza. Lebanon, the Hezbollah is also trying to actually initiate another front with us, like with firing missiles at us. At the very least, this is what we were thinking. It could be just Hamas members, like in the northern regions, that are just firing this and trying to start more fronts, just to force other Muslim countries to enter the fight. So, yeah, we don't know exactly, but as for now, thankfully and hopefully there is only one front of the battle, and that's Hamas, and hopefully it will stay the same way, because as my leader have said it in press conferences, the blood is on your hands if you enter this war. Israel is more than prepared to actually take on another front, because we are much stronger than all of our enemies by themselves. Even if they join their forces, the odds are still against them. Not to mention we have an aircraft carrier, the biggest one on the planet near our shores, that USA were kind enough to give to us. So we have the support of the strongest country in the entire world. So we are more than prepared to take on another front, but hopefully it won't be necessary. None of us want this. It will just lead to more innocent lives being taken. So as to what's happening now, we've switched to offense. From defense, we've switched to offense after the horrible actions have done. And we've delayed the grieving. We'll grieve once this is all over. Our military attacked Gaza from the sky mostly, like just what's the name? I'm not a native speaker, so I sometimes just can't find words for what I'm trying to say. Like our aircraft, yeah, just our air force. That's what I was trying to say. Our air force was the main force that attacked in Gaza. Until now, the air force is the only one that attacks Gaza. At least once they said on the press. Thousands of bombs just at Hamas individuals and Hamas organization places, like anywhere the Hamas might be hiding, we are bombing. We're trying, if there is a large number of civilian casualties that can be expected, we usually send a warning shot. Like for large buildings and stuff like that, we send warning shots to make the civilians evacuate, and then we bomb the place. But after what they've done, I'm pretty sure the military stopped doing that. They just, if they can take the shot and kill the Hamas, they do it. Whereas for civilian casualties, of course, you can expect innocent Palestinians are dying by these actions. I'm not sugarcoating it. Of course, innocents will die, and there is one main reason for that. The Hamas is using them as body shields. They've always done this. Nobody ever believes this when you say it, but they've always done this. The way the Hamas actually performs its actions is the main basis of operations the Hamas is using are hidden among the Palestinian people, the innocents, the children, the women. The main suspect we have, actually not the main, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, like the largest armory they have, the Hamas has, is located under the Shifa hospital. So they are hiding in places where there are many innocent people that they know we wouldn't attack. So the Israeli government and we've sent them messages, we hack the TV channels, we send them posters from the air, we've even said it in a press conference, our prime minister said it on the first day of the war, get out. For the Palestinians of Gaza, get out, escape, because we are going to be attacking Hamas regardless of if you are there or not there, because we have to. They leave us no choice. They are using them as body shields. They are cowards who will kill their own people. We are forced to actually kill children. We try our very best. I can promise you that on my honor, my family's honor, my family's life, I promise to you, the Israeli army is trying the best it can to minimize civilian casualties. The enemy just leaves you no choice. It's either we kill the Hamas with the risk of killing innocent people, or the Hamas will kill our own innocents. Trying to imagine the situation for yourself for a second. What other choice do we have? We have to attack the Hamas. We can't just not retaliate, because they will just do it again. So yeah, just with out of the way, I'm stressing this. We are trying as the best we can to not hurt innocent people. We've told them to evacuate. 600,000 Palestinians have already managed to evacuate, but the Hamas actually placed borders to make the Palestinians stay and hide among the Palestinians to actually keep using them as their body shield. That's the only way they can defend themselves, because they know without the Palestinians to act as their body shield, they will just die. They will die very quickly. They can't defend themselves against us. They don't have the power to do it. So again, we are attacking as I'm speaking, and what next can be said? I'm trying to just think about, yeah. So again, we are trying to minimize civilian casualties as much as we can. We are fighting, I want you to understand, we are fighting terrorists. Terrorists, there's another way to put it. The Hamas are not freedom fighters. They don't fight for the honor of the Palestinian people. They don't fight for Palestine. They don't fight for anything. They fight to kill innocent women and children. In their mind, they are shaheeds. In their mind, if I die and take the Israelis down with me, I am granted honor. I am granted 72 versions for myself in the afterlife. That is their mindset. This is how they do. Even in Al Jazeera, which is a channel that glorifies the Hamas and its warriors, like even then they interviewed a warrior from the Hamas, I'm pretty sure it's called the Nakba. Don't take me on my word, like the unit they interviewed, but a warrior from that said their only purpose is to cause as much damage possible to the enemy. I mean, and the enemy to them, I want you to understand, it's not the country of Israel. The enemy to them is Israeli people, including Muslims, including Jews, including Christians, including every single Israeli man and woman and child, regardless of who you are. So, with that out of the way, the goals of the war, the complete and utter destruction of Hamas. Every single Hamas member will die. That's the goal of the war. As for what happens next, we don't know. I don't know if my country will suggest this, but just as an Israeli man, as a human being, I would truly want this conflict to end, man. The only feasible solution I can see is just if the Arab nations come together and take some of the Palestinians, each of the countries take some Palestinian families into them. Countries that can spare the room, countries that have the wealth, countries that have the ability and territory to actually support a few 100,000 more people. Like there are 2 million Palestinians in Gaza, I'm pretty sure. This is around the number. If multiple Muslim countries were to come together, like there are rich Muslim countries, they can afford themselves to just take a few 100,000, 200,000 into their borders, make them civilians. They won't need to suffer anymore because the Muslim countries are already donating so much money that is just being used to for terrorism against Israel. And Israel is doing the same. We are giving the Gaza money, we're giving them water, we're giving them electricity. We have stopped because the Hamas is using it to fight against us. So we've stopped giving them all of this, but under the request, like humanitarian request, even they are the last thing from humane, we've returned the water supply. But regardless, just what else can I say? Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention, they've kidnapped over 150 people, including Holocaust survivors, including children, babies, women. Oh, I don't want to imagine what the poor women are going through. We can only imagine what's going on. They're probably being R-worded. I don't know what to say at this point. There are footages of like the Hamas putting them in like bird cages, putting young children, like 3-year-old kids, in bird cages and laughing. There are images of them giving them to their old children and telling their children to beat up the Israeli children they've kidnapped. There is an image of a Holocaust survivor on a bike that actually became a logo for a pizzeria for a pizza place in an Arab village inside of Israel. So yeah, terrifying stuff. You don't want to imagine it. And of course they've taken soldiers out captive as well. Many soldiers have unfortunately died as well. Many heroes fell. But many have risen as well. There are amazing acts of heroism. We are being told, like many brave men and women who have risked their lives to save other people, and many of them actually succeeded. So yeah, it's just warming the heart to see the heroes my country has, honestly. So I'm going to finish this up with this. I feel like I've just made my best case to explain this. I'm going to say this again though. People are saying end the war. I've heard even Russia is trying to intervene to end the war because I'm pretty sure Russia is like they share mutual interests with Iran. So Russia is pretty much our enemy, unfortunately. Nobody wants Russia as their enemy. We all know how powerful Russia is. Like Russia is extremely powerful. Nobody wants them as their enemy. But if they want to be our enemy, what can you do? I mean, I'm hoping and praying they aren't because we all know how powerful Russia is. Russia being your enemy, even if you are the most powerful country in the world, which Israel probably isn't, we are too small to be that. But even if you are the strongest country in the world, Russia being your enemy is a very terrifying thought. So I can only hope and pray they won't try and just wage war on us as well, because the amount of casualties our side and their side will have is just horrifying to think about, man. Just the amount of casualties, innocent lives that will be lost. But again, I'm trying to say it again, just all efforts to stop this war, to get a ceasefire, the Hamas asked for a ceasefire, hell no. After what they've done, I'm trying to stress this because I know many people have called for the end of the war, but after what they've done, if the Hamas doesn't completely die, our prime minister will probably get hanged in the town square. Because people are demanding the immediate destruction of the Hamas. You have to understand, at this point, it's either us or them. It's us or them. If we don't finish the Hamas now, this will happen again in a few years. We can damage them beyond repair, but just the donations will keep coming from Muslim organizations for the Palestinians. And if the Hamas still rules, they will use the money to rebuild their organization, rebuild their terrorists factory, get more terrorists, and the children we have spared will just become the terrorists to kill our own children in the next day. So the Hamas will die. There is no point in getting the ceasefire because until the Hamas is not dead, this war will not end. This war was not started by us. We never wanted it, but now that it's begun, the Hamas will die. That is my promise to you, because if it doesn't die, I don't know what will happen in Israel. Hell will break loose. Everybody in charge of the country will get replaced because Hamas needs to die after what they've done. These are actions ISIS and the Nazis even couldn't commit. These are actions no human being can actually commit. Even a starving animal wouldn't commit the kind of actions they've made. So they will not make it through this. They will die. This is the goal of the war, the complete destruction of Hamas. Our official of security or minister of security said it as well. They will die. the Hamas will be destroyed, and that is the main goal of this war, the complete and utter destruction of Hamas. We will try again to keep civilian casualties to a minimum as much as we can. We have told them, please evacuate, but Israel and the USA are trying to negotiate with Egypt to actually let the Palestinians into their border, at the very least, for this amount of time until the war is over. Because it is not safe for them there. They will die if they stay there. We've warned them multiple times, but there is nothing else we can do. We have to attack. We don't have any other choice. So yeah, after hearing all of this, I just want to sum this up. I'm pretty sure I have pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. Just one more thing I want to say is, before finishing this up with another statement, is I just want to say this conflict is the conflict of Israel and the Hamas. I'm asking, truly asking, nobody else intervenes, at the very least not with their soldiers. Don't intervene and turn this into a much bigger conflict than it already is. This is a conflict between a small country and its enemy since it was created. This is not a conflict that will spark war between the United States and Russia, because a war between the big monsters of the world, the big military powerhouses, a war like that, a World War III right now, even Donald Trump said it once, World War III will make World War I and World War II look like a fight in lunch break in school. The world will be destroyed. It will be. So, in the name of humankind, and not even the name of an Israeli, I'm asking you, do not intervene and do not wage war on each other for this stupid conflict of ours. This is Israel and Palestine matters. This will be settled between us. After this is over, we will figure out what to do. But if World War III breaks out, if hell's wages, if hell breaks loose, this species is done for. This planet is done for. The weapons the big powerhouses probably have by now. The Russians, the Soviet Union, created a Tsar Bomba a few years after World War II ended. Over 70 years have passed. Imagine what kind of weapon they have now. We are talking doomsday weapon on the level that can just wipe out continents. This is just my speculation for the weapon they might have. Like, we're not even talking the destruction of countries, including the radiation damages, things like that. The amount of damage a nuclear warhead of the caliber I'm imagining can actually do now, if they created a mega Tsar Bomba, a bigger one, if America has one of these in store, if China has it, if I don't know where else has it, any other powerful country has a nuclear weapon of that scale, this conflict will be the last thing to worry about, because a nuclear weapon of that will be doomsday. It really will be. So I am asking other countries to not actually begin conflict among themselves with this. You want to support a side, if you want to support Israel, it's vastly appreciated. It truly is. I thank every American, every single American man and woman. I thank President Biden personally, though he will never see this video. I thank everybody who support Israel. But, and that's a big but, supporting is one thing. Waging war on another country for this conflict is something that I fear could happen, and if it does happen, if the big guns of the world will actually wage war for this conflict, the damage could be astronomical. We are talking not even millions, we are talking even billions of people that could die across the world, just from radiation and nuclear winter. So, please, I am begging you, if you want to support with money, with I don't know, military weapons, with ammunition, as an Israeli, I say, please do. We appreciate all support, of course, but do not wage war amongst one another. Because a war with the big countries will be the end of planet Earth and the end of human civilization. This is just important to keep in mind, because this is a conflict that, because of the powerful allies Israel and Iranians and Palestinians have, because of our shared powerful allies, we could bring about the destruction of the world at the beginning of World War III. So please, I am asking you, show restraint. I truly am, because this could be the end of the world. It could really be. So yeah, I can only hope and pray this conflict just ends up being another one of our wars with the Hamas that have always been. Hopefully the final one will have, but it's nothing that becomes I hope it doesn't become the assassination of the Austrian ruler that was in World War I, the one that sparked the war to end all wars. If this happens again, man, I don't even want to imagine what could happen. So yeah, just this is the other thing I wanted to mention. Just to wrap this up, I'm not talking Yeah, just talking. I hope I could convince you to support Israel with this one. Well, I'm trying to make you understand. We are truly fighting inhumane monsters. We really are. We are fighting terrorists. They are not freedom fighters. They are nothing like of the sort. Not the Palestinian people. Palestinians might support Hamas, yeah, but that doesn't make them terrorists. That makes them terrorist supporters, which isn't very good, but can you even blame them? Can you blame Palestinians? No, you can't. I'm not blaming the Palestinians. Do I want to kill all of them? Of course I don't. What kind of human being would want to kill innocent people? I don't want to kill them all. But the Hamas is the enemy, and the Hamas you could expect when you live under the rule of a terrorist organization that just brainwashes the children since young age to think you are fighting a monster. They committed the Nakba. They banished us from our homeland. They did this, they did that. When you are living under them, you can't just you can't expect the Palestinians to support Israel, of course. You just can't. It's not possible for them to support. As far as they're concerned, we are killing their children. And unfortunately, it's just the reality of things. That's how it is. Like, you don't expect an Israeli to support Palestine. You don't expect a Palestinian to support Israel. That's just how it is. But I'm talking to a people that are not Palestinian and not Israelis. The sides you will support are already obvious, but I'm trying to make you understand. We are not fighting. You are not fighting people. We are fighting monsters. We really are. The Hamas, what they have done, these are actions, again, they put the Nazis and ISIS in shame. These are actions you can't even begin to imagine. These are just not actions a human being can commit these actions. You can't just look a baby in its innocent eyes and shoot it in the head. You can't decapitate a child in front of its parents. You can't decapitate the parent in front of the child. Just a human being can't do these actions. You can't burn people alive. You can't just rape women and then burn them alive. These are actions that human beings would not commit. These actions are just actions of heartless beings. No animal will commit this. Nothing. Nobody with a moral compass. No one with the soul will commit this. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that after hearing what I've said, you will support Israel on this one, because regardless of our history, I'm not saying Israel is free of blame. We are not free of blame. Of course we are not. After World War II ended, after the Holocaust ended, we had nowhere else to go. This is our holy land. This is our Mecca. We didn't have any place to go. Europe wasn't safe anymore. Another Holocaust could always happen. Anti-Semitism has always been an issue, so we had no option. We had to go here. The Palestinians, unfortunately, didn't want to share this place with us. This is how history went. You don't have to take my word. Research for yourself. This is what happened. I researched this myself from many sites, not even Israeli ones. Many sites have researched this is just what happened. After the Holocaust, the Israeli people, those who managed to survive that slaughterhouse, they came to Israel in a final last-ditch attempt to just live their lives peacefully, because there is nowhere else we can go. People just hate Jewish people. It's just the reality of the world at this point, unfortunately. Like, people just hate us. We are human beings just like the rest of you. We don't want war. We don't want to kill your children. We don't want our children to die. We are human beings. So the Jewish people came after the Holocaust. They came to Israel, and the Jewish people came to Israel after the Holocaust. Palestinian people that were there waged war on us, and then our independence war waged. In the beginning was just against the Palestinian people, that we were slaughtering each other through and through. Both of the sides committed inhumane acts in their desperation. Both of them, my people and the Palestinians, both of us committed these kinds of actions. It wasn't, there is no clean side here. Nobody, history-wise, nobody is clean. Nobody is free of blame. We've all done something wrong. There is no right side here. But in this conflict, in this specific war, in this iron sword war, that's how I believe they called it, iron swords. In this war specifically, the one that Hamas waged on us in the 7th of October 2023, in this war, the righteous side is Israel. Because Hamas killed our women and children. They've attacked us in the most vital spot, a spot where no human being with a soul will actually attack us. They have no moral compass, they are not humans, they are not Muslims, they have no God. So I'm just trying to talk to, I've been blabbering on for long enough. So yeah, I hope you can convince you to support Israel with this. I truly am, because even if I can, I just hope you understand what's going on better now. If you truly wish to support the Hamas, I mean, it's up to you. God will judge you in the afterlife. I don't know what to say at this point. If you can support him after reading what I described to you. And if you want to, there are actually pictures running online. I can't give you links. I don't want to give you links. These are pictures that will hunt you to the rest of your lives. They are hunting me. I can guarantee you to you. These pictures are hunting me. They are hunting me. Seeing 40 children decapitated is not something a human being can see and just stay whole. It takes away a part of your soul, even if the children aren't yours. So there are pictures online. If you don't believe me, feel free to check them out. Do it at your own risk. It's very, very, very scarring. It's emotionally scarring. You'll never recover. You'll never recover if you have any form of human compass. I've seen people die. I've seen with my very eyes, in front of my eyes, I've seen people die. I've studied medicine in my high school, as just a subject to master. I've studied medicine. I went to a hospital. I've seen surgeries with my very eyes. I've seen blood. I've seen guts. I've seen entrails of people. These sites, you see them, regardless of your occupation. You can be a doctor who did surgeries on any human being with any ailment you can imagine. You see this, and you just start crying. There is nothing else you can do. Even if you're not even related, if you're not even something, as a human being, you can't even process such cruelty. So yeah, and if you are Muslim and watching this video, I am telling you this. There is a statement in Islam saying it's not their eyes that are blind, it's their heart. Muslim people, many of them support Palestine because you see them as your brothers. And supporting the Palestinians is not something wrong. I mean, supporting the Palestinians aren't the issue. The issue is Hamas. But I am asking you, don't allow your heart to blind your eyes. You can see what the righteous side is on this one. You can see it. I've even seen Iranian people supporting Israel. I've seen it. Iranian people. Iran is pretty much our biggest enemy. The country of Iran. It's our biggest enemy. There is no bigger enemy to Israel pretty much. And it's our most powerful enemy as well, most likely. Even Iranians are supporting Israel. Look at just the actions, the level of cruelty, what they've done. So yeah, if you are Muslim, please do not allow your heart to blind your eyes. Watch for yourself. I know you are prejudiced in order to support your own people. It's understandable. I support my own people. I'm not saying I'm good enough to actually do it. If my country was committing these actions, I'm not sure if I was supporting the other side either. I mean, you can't just say it. I can't just say it. It's naive to say this, like asking you to not support people you deem as your own brothers. But I don't mind. I'm not asking you to stop supporting the Palestinians, but don't support Hamas. The Hamas are not Muslims. After the actions they've done, they've proved they are no Muslims. They have no God. A human with a God will not do this. A person with a fear of judgment will not do this. If they thought that when they die, they are facing Allah and Allah will judge them for what they have done, they would never have done something like this. No person who thinks Allah is going to judge him to see if he actually was a righteous person in his life is actually going to violate every single law of Islamic laws of war that are written in the Quran, not me. If you are Muslim, you know the laws. The most beautiful thing about Islam is just how many people memorize and know the Quran by heart. You know the laws of Islamic war. You know what Allah forbids you from doing. And they have violated every single law in the Quran and every single law of human morality. So, do not allow your eyes to blind you, your heart to blind you, sorry. Look with your eyes, you can see they are not Muslim. They've committed treason against Islam. It's that simple. They claim to be Muslim, but they are a disgrace to any human being who believes there is something in this world bigger than himself. So there guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I am aware, I promise no more politics, and this is just a promise I make now. No more politics will be on this channel. This is not a channel for politics. This is a Mortal Kombat channel. This is the reason I made it in the first place. If you wanna see Mortal Kombat 1, great high level content, feel free to subscribe to this channel. If you don't want to see Mortal Kombat content, this is not a channel to come to think about politics. You can see from the screen, you can see Havoc over here. This is a Mortal Kombat channel made by a Mortal Kombat fan. It has no room for politics. You can be Lebanese, you can be Iranian, you can be Palestinian, I don't mind. Feel free to join the channel, feel free, just for Mortal Kombat purposes. Politics have no room here. You are welcomed in my channel regardless of your place, your gender, your sexuality, whatever it may be. I don't care. I'm playing Mortal Kombat. As long as you're not using Baraka Cyrex, I am not judging you. So guys, I truly hope you can now see what the righteous side in this specific war is. There is no winners in war. There truly is no. I am hoping and praying we can destroy the Hamas fast enough so we limit the civilian casualties on both sides. I hope this conflict will actually end after this. We will not kill each other anymore. There are no winners in war. There are people who lose less. And both sides have already lost enough. But until the Hamas is dead, this will not stop. So, to my Israeli brothers, תישארו חזקים. אנחנו ננצח. In translation to those of you who don't understand Hebrew, I've said to my Israeli brothers, stay strong, we will win. Because we will win. The Hamas has never been a match for us. It will never be a match for us. Israel is more than powerful enough to take on the Hamas. And any of its allies who actually believe they can attack Israel. So, I am hoping and praying this conflict just resolves as quickly as possible with the smallest amount of civilian casualties, of innocent lives being lost, because it is heartbreaking. It really is. President Biden said it best. It's heartbreaking. You see innocent lives being killed. It's heartbreaking. I know a Palestinian child is now dying. I am sorry for him. I'm a human being. Even if he's coming from where my enemy is, I can't just not feel pity. It's a child. I mean, what did the child ever do? A child is not guilty of anything. A child is harmless. A child is not guilty. A child can't do anything. And they send their children to attack us. The Hamas is sending children to attack Israel. They are sending the most precious life of humanity. They are sending their future to take their own life away, to take life of our future. This is just how it is. We are fighting monsters. Monsters, not humans, not animals, not barbarians. Monsters, devils, demons. They are not human beings. I refuse to believe a human being can commit the actions they've committed. So yeah, I've been trying my best to hold back tears this video. I feel like I've done a pretty good job, even though I broke down one moment, but I managed to keep my cool, some sort. So please guys, I hope you understand the conflict now. I tried my best to explain it to the best of my ability. And I will see you in the next one. There is a Mortal Kombat video. 100% a Mortal Kombat video. No more politics. I just felt like I owe you this because I've said I will give you a video explaining the conflict. And I haven't. I gave you a video of a grown-ass man. I gave you a video of a man crying like a whiny bitch because I dwelled too much on actions I don't want to be thinking about, because these are actions no human has the mental fortitude to actually see and actually hear about and stay calm. So yeah, please do support Israel. To Americans, to French people who support us, to Italians, to any country in the world that is supporting Israel. As an Israeli man, in the name of all Israeli people, the Jewish people, the Muslim people of Israel, everybody in Israel, I wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart. To America in general, who are our biggest ally, our biggest friend. And is it because of mutual interests? Is it just because of politics? Perhaps. I mean, it's just the reality of life. Friendship is just between countries at the very least. Friendship is just mutual interests that are aligning. But this is still a thing to be thankful for. The support President Biden is showing us, the support you are showing us, I fully respect it. I've been seeing people saying Donald Trump is actually against Israel. Donald Trump just calls out the bullshit. That's why I love Donald Trump, to be honest. Like, Donald Trump is the most no bullshit politician I've ever seen in my life. He's just calling out the shit, so I love him for that. But regardless, I am in no place trying to advocate against President Biden. He has shown he is a human being. He has shown he is supporting us. Is it for his political agenda? Perhaps. You have to look at it like from a non-biased point of view. It can help him to be supporting Israel for his own political image, but I don't care. His support is still his support. If interests are involved, it doesn't matter. We are humans. We are interesting creatures. It's just it's human nature. Humans act according to interests. But if you are supporting Israel, thank you from the bottom of my heart. My family is thanking you. My people are thanking you. My brothers are thanking you. my fallen brothers and sisters, those who've died in the name of the country of Israel, those who've died to save our children, they are thanking you. So, if you're supporting us, thank you. If you're not supporting us, if you're supporting Palestinians, but you're standing up to the cruelty of the Hamas, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, not even an Israeli, as a human being, supporting against the Hamas, going against the Hamas, is just the morally correct thing to do, regardless of your side in this conflict. Once this is over and the Hamas is gone, feel free to hate Israel. Say we are killers, we are child killers, we are murderers. Do whatever you want. But right now, this time calls for action from everybody to just eradicate this disease of the human race that is called the Hamas. They are terrorists, they are ISIS, they are Nazis. They should be killed, terminated, and destroyed, and they will be. This is a promise I make to you. I am enlisting in the military in a few months. I don't know what place I will serve, but if this war is still going on, most likely as a soldier, I will die to see these bastards die themselves. Because after what they have done, there is no going back. There is no going back. There truly is no going back. So, thank you for watching. Pick the right side. Thank you for supporting Israel if you are supporting us. If you aren't supporting us but standing up to the Hamas, thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Everybody who's watching this video, God bless you. I hope, I pray, you never know war in your life. And if you did, I hope you never know it again. There are no winners in wars. There are no winners. It's scary. It's terrifying. You live your life in constant fear of your loved ones just dying the next day. I hope and I pray to my God. I hope and pray all of you stay safe. I truly do. Innocent people dying is the most tragic things about war. When soldiers die, it's heartbreaking. You can't take it. But when innocents die, humanity dies with it. A small spark of humanity is gone when an innocent life is taken. An innocent life being taken is truly the biggest tragedy of wars of all time. So, stay safe. Don't know war. If you can avoid conflict, avoid it. Be good people. You never know when you could die. The poor people, the 7th of October, the over 1,000 Israeli people, men, women, children, elderly who died. They didn't know they were gonna die. But I sure hope they live their life without regrets, because you never know when you could die. Human life is fragile. So, live your life with no regrets. Be a good person. Be kind. Live your life to the fullest. Don't know war. Nobody wants war. Don't seek it. Condemn it. That's what you should do. Condemn war. Condemn those who engage war. But defend yourself. This is the most important thing. If you are being attacked, defend yourself. And don't mistake these tears, my tears, the tears of the Israeli people, for tears of weakness. These are tears for knowing what's to come. One of our news reporters said it best. They keep saying we'll unleash the gates of hell on Israel. They've unleashed the gates of hell upon themselves. The Hamas just dug its own grave. And they will die at the end of this. And all terrorists will die at the very end. Everybody whose goal is to kill innocent people will go down dying, fighting for their cause. So, congratulations. You died for nothing if you are a terrorist. So, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Stay safe. I love all of you. I truly do, regardless of where you are from. Stay safe. I hope you and your family will all stay safe. I hope you live a good life. A good, long life. It is ended not by the barrel of a gun, wielded by a terrorist whose only cause is to kill you. I hope the way your life ends is a way you are fulfilled with, where you fulfilled your life. You lived your life to the fullest. You're surrounded by your loved ones, and your loved ones don't die along with you to the barrel of a gun. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I love all of you. Stay safe.